How's it going, guys? Squarepainter and Tiny Neenja back again with a pickup video. We haven't done one of these in a while. It's been a little while, but we've picked up a lot of really good stuff lately. But strangely enough, between the two of us, we only have one video game. It's getting harder and harder out there to find stuff, and kind of where we're at with our collections is we have most of the stuff that we want already. It's just it's the rarities, the uncommon stuff. I know.
And TurboGrafx is just fucking expensive.
Yes, it is.
And I want to get everything boxed now, so that's like fucking impossible.
Yeah, TurboGrafx is insane. So yeah, we still find them though. We still find stuff. There was that one that I found at that toy store the other day, and I texted you a picture of it.
Oh yeah, the one that we don't have.
Yeah, one that we don't have. It was in the jewel case. It had the manual and the HUE card. It didn't have the cardboard sleeve though.
Busy, like I had my hands all up on computers at the time.
Was that the P computer day?
No, was it? I think it was. Yeah.
Nina's a Mac tech, and
learning to.
Got a PC or Mac in that had.
It wasn't Mac. It was a
cat P.
Yeah, that's just.
Anyway, none of these toys or pickups that we have, none of these pickups have cat pee on them. So Nina, as always, why don't you start with what you got?
So I usually don't pick up cute things.
Bullshit.
Yeah, that's a lie. But I saw this, and I remembered when I was a little kid, I had one of these, and I had to pick it up.
Where'd you get that from? I don't even remember it.
So it was on like that toy show.
One that we went to last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool show last weekend we went to.
Like, this is like Flying Lion guy from like, I think it's called Moon Dreamers or something like that. There's these cute little fucking toys in the 80s, and they're fucking adorable. Yeah, and they're like, it's like kind of in the same realm as My Little Pony.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Or glowworms. Remember glowworms?
Yeah, it's like, I think the same people.
It looks like those pastel kind of colors with the soft rubber.
Very 80s.
Very 80s.
Very 80s. Next thing is actually pretty cool. It's this guy from Primal Rage.
I don't know how you find these all the time.
I don't know how I found this guy either. I was actually looking through. He's a little dingy, but his name's Chaos. It's actually the color variant of Chaos, because Chaos in Primal Rage is actually,
You say he's red and black or something?
Red and black. And this guy is green and red. He's got like sand and shit on him. Anyway, so yeah, got this guy. Very hard.
Really cool.
Yeah, they usually don't come across these things really often.
No, I don't know how you have all that stuff. If you watched our videos before, you've seen that most of our pickup videos with toys, Nina has Primal Rage toys. And these things are really hard to find. Like, a lot of the big toy collectors that I know never have these. And the fact that you have, you have two of those in the closet, and then you have the big T-Rex.
This is also the second color variant that I have.
Right, you have the two of the dinosaur, right.
I have Vertigo and her second in her color variant. Now I have Chaos in the color variant. Now I just need Chaos in his regular color.
Jeez, it's crazy. It's crazy how you find these things.
So, at the show that we went to last weekend...
Yeah, the show we went to was called It's a Toy Show. There's a store called It's a Toy Store down in Jersey. It's like right off the Atlantic City Expressway, and it's in this little town, and they do this big one-day festival throughout the town. It's huge. But it's a little South Jersey town. It's very quaint. But the guy that runs the toy store... he converted a house, two-story house, into a toy store. First of all, it's outrageous what this guy has. Each room is dedicated to a different theme, and the stuff that he has in there is like, you want to go see a boxed USS Flag, from G.I. Joe. He's got one dead mint, complete in the box. He has like all the rarest Star Wars figures that you could possibly imagine. But he lets all these vendors set up one day a year just on the property for free. And there were probably about 50 vendors there.
Yep.
Yeah, so you got some good stuff here from that. I got a few things from here from that.
I'll start with what we got from our friend Chris.
Yeah, our buddy Chris, who does Gorilla Boys toys. He always hooks us up with stuff.
So, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I really like gargoyles.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I really like gargoyles.
It was really cool that he had that in
I really
box.
like gargoyles. So I got this guy. And I haven't actually seen one of these in a box, ever.
No, and that box is in fantastic shape, too.
It hasn't ever been opened.
No, it's still factory sealed.
Completely factory sealed, like, maybe a little bit opened, actually.
Was it?
Look at that side.
Yeah, it looked like it was retaped. Alright, half factory sealed.
Half factory sealed.
But the box is in beautiful shape.
It's got everything in it.
Yeah, it has all the packaging.
And then this guy, second series. They have like the stone camouflage guys. I've actually had. Well, I still have a few of the regular ones on from the series 1 that I still have to get. But these guys, I'm starting to get into the series 2 where they have these guys and the fucking elemental gargoyles and then the fucking the
I know
ones with
nothing
the robot
about gargoyles.
So yeah, so I'm getting to that point. So we were walking around and it was in a weird fucking spot. It was in a corner in where all the G.I. Joes and the Star Wars.
Yeah, it was in that store called It's a Toy Store, and it was in the room that was mainly Star Wars. So I'm freaking out because I fucking love Star Wars toys, especially the ones from the 70s and 80s.
And we're walking around and
you
all of a
see
sudden
this?
in the corner, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep. Just kind of hiding
I was
there.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
What the shit? Are you kidding me?
And that thing
I'm
is...
really?
That's gotta be, more than a foot
You
tall.
kill somebody with this thing.
You could. It's probably about 14 inches tall, and the sculpt is amazing on
It's
that.
awesome. I was like...
Yes, that is great. That's a great
I
pickup.
was I never knew that they had these.
No.
I'm wondering now. Did they just make this guy? Did they make Goliath?
Oh no! Now you're gonna look for the rest of them. Is there a series of the fucking huge ones? Any big gargoyles collectors out there? Let us know. Leave a comment if there's more of these.
I can't imagine they'd make all of them because
No, there's probably 2 or 3 of those.
Maybe a really big Demona. That would be really cool.
So is that everything that you got?
That's it.
That's it. Lots of gargoyle stuff.
Yeah.
So Goliath, I suppose, is he's gonna be in the video for the rest of the time. Nothing I can do about it.
He's making sure everything goes fine.
That's fine. Usually the cats do that. So I have a whole bunch of stuff here that I picked up from the toy show that we went to last weekend, and trades and video game stores and whatnot. So first thing I got is finally I got Zartan, the last of the Dreadnoks that I needed, and he's missing essentially everything, but it's nice that his hood is attached because I know this thing notoriously comes off. It's missing his pauldrons, his extra face, all sorts of other stuff, and his little swamp skier, which somebody definitely played with in the bathtub because his joints here are very rusty, but they're still very tight. And I got a good deal on it, so it's really nice to finally have Zartan in my Joe collection because my Dreadnoks, they needed a leader. Next thing that I got, I don't really collect the Star Wars Black series, but our roommate Emily that bought Nina the Goliath bought me Finn, who is my favorite character in episode 7. And I just love him in the Jakku outfit. And just the sculpt on his face looks so much like John Boyega. It is absolutely spot on. So super happy to have this one. We'll put it with the Rey figure that you have with the little BB-8. Alright, next up, this is a pair. So I had one half that I think you found randomly at a flea market for, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago we've had this guy.
Cheap as shit.
Yeah. This giant, sweet fucking alien xenomorph figure, and I had never seen him before. I had no idea where he came from. And we got it for really cheap, and actually, he sits up there, up top, overlooking us with more Gargoyles toys, clearly. So, we had this awesome xenomorph, and then I found out that it was from an Alien vs. Predator playset. And I fucking love anything Alien vs. Predator, aside from those 2 goddamn movies, which don't exist in my reality.
What movies?
Yeah, what movies? Anything, like the old Dark Horse comics and the old Alien vs. Predator 2 for PC is the best Alien Predator game. But I found this at the show. Finally got the fucking Predator and his blade, too. His boomerang blade. This guy who looked like Joe Pesci. He kept talking to us. He was a really nice guy. He had the set on the table of the Alien and the Predator, and so I asked him how much he wants for the set, and I forgot what he said. And then I just asked him would you break it up? I know you probably want to sell it as a set. It's just I explained to him I have the Alien, I love Alien and Predator. I've been looking for the Predator forever. And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely, I'll break it up for you. So I think he sold this to me for $10. So I mean, we don't collect toys for value. I really don't care what the value is. It's more of just having really cool stuff to display. Like this. Next thing that I got at the show were 3 little figures to fill in the Series 1 of Monster in My Pocket. These are these 3. And these figures are kind of like a combination of Battle Beasts and Muscle figures. They came out in the early 90s. And they're really cool sculpts. And this is the last 3 from Series 1. I actually have all of my original ones that were me and my brothers that we played with way back in the day. I found them in my parents' house, and these 3 were just the 3 that randomly went missing. It was a hobgoblin, a red cap, and a witch. And these are 3 fairly common ones. So this guy sold it to me. Actually, who was like a dude on TV or something. He's like some big time toy guy. And as soon as I was looking for these, he went into like a big spiel about rare ones. I was like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna spend $5 at your table and buy some monster in my pocket figures. But these are really cool. There was a board game that you can get to play with these figures. I actually have that somewhere. But they're really cool to collect. I didn't even know that there was a Series 2 of these single color ones. I knew there were ones later on where they were about 3 times the size and had about 3 different colors of rubber on there. I remember my brother had those. Gotta try to find those next time I go to my parents' house. But now I finally have, back after 20 years, full Series 1 of Monster in my pocket figures. Now these next 2 things I got from my buddy Frank at Classic Game Junkie. If you guys are ever in the PA, Philadelphia area, he's about a half hour north of the city. Great dude, great store, always has amazing stock. So I had some credit there and I traded in some games. This is what I got. First is this awesome Mario pinball machine. Now it's missing the legs and it's missing this little plunger here, I suppose. I guess is that what it's called? I don't know. I think it is. It's missing that, so it doesn't fully work, and also it takes 4 D batteries to run. That's what somebody told me on Instagram. So I'd never seen this thing before, but I love anything that is Nintendo branded, especially Mario or Zelda from the late 80s with the really cool looking artwork on there. And it's just so cool to have, just a piece to have in the collection. It's really nice to have. We gotta find a nice spot for this. And the other thing I got from Frank, actually a video game, the only video game. Now, as I always say in every pickup video, I'm going for a full Super Nintendo collection. It's getting harder and harder for me to really fill in those gaps of the uncommon ones. There's a handful of super rares, and the one that I have here is pretty damn uncommon, and unfortunately it's really spiked in value. It's still a pretty good game too. So I had enough in credit to trade for it, and that is Legend. And the label is so nice on this. And this was sitting in Frank's store for, God, probably about 6 months he had this, and I was staring at this, and I wanted it for a while. So I decided, fuck it. I got the credit for this. I'm snagging this right now. So I am so happy to finally knock this weird-ass game off the list. And now for this last one.
Oh, God.
This is one of the most holy fucking shit finds ever that I've had. To preface this, I've been collecting Star Wars figures for about 20 years. I'm 34, and I started probably when I was 13, 14 years old, like really collecting them and going to shows with my dad. So there's this thing called the Punk Rock Flea Market that happens twice a year in Philadelphia. And the spring one just happened. What was it, about 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't even know if we were going to get to go. And one of my friends, my buddy Rob, texted me, oh, hey, I'm heading out on Sunday. I want to hit up the Philly Punk Rock Flea and maybe go out in the city for a little bit if you're down to go. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So it started at like 10 a.m. on Saturday. We didn't get there until about 2 o'clock on Sunday. So it was pretty damn late. So we're walking around, finding a couple of cool things here and there. Just, you know, a bunch of games. I think I got an NES Max for like $1 there. So we're just finding some random stuff. And there's this one dude, he's a dedicated toy vendor. I see him at all the shows. He always sets up, he has about 5 tables in the back of just all this crazy stuff. So we go back there, we're walking through. As we're walking through, we're coming out, and I just happened to glance down in this $5 bin of just junk. But what I saw in there, I couldn't fucking believe. My face just fucking dropped. What I found was a blue fucking snaggletooth. I could not believe this. I have never had a find like this in my 20 years of collecting Star Wars figures. I've only seen this guy a handful of times at shows, and he's always in the locked case with like the 10 other super rare Star Wars figures. So immediately, I just snag this thing up, and I'm looking at it, and it's like, is this real? Is this really here? Like, how the fuck is this here? And it was there all weekend, too. It had to have been in this $5 bin all goddamn weekend. Like I said, it was almost the end of the show. So I quickly, I just fumble $5 out of my wallet, and I go up to him. This is kind of dickish. I'm holding him like this, so he can't see it's the blue one. So just Snaggletooth's head is poking out, so you think it's like the half-size red one, which is like common as shit. So I just walk up to him like $5, Ben. He's like, yeah, and I just basically just threw the money. I'm like, see you later. And Rob had no idea because he doesn't collect Star Wars figures, so he had absolutely no idea. And this happened in the span of maybe literally 10 seconds. So I'm just like pushing him out of the booth, like, go, just move. I'll fucking tell you in a second. And my hands are shaking. My hands are fucking shaking, and I'm like sweating, and I can't fucking believe this. And like, he's like, what is this? What did you find? And like, I slowly just like open my hand, and I'm like, it's real. It is real. It's fucking real. I really just fucking found this. And like, I look on the back, it says Hong Kong 1978. It's fucking legit. So I called you immediately, and it was like blurted sentence fragments. I couldn't even get the idea.
And I'm like laying in bed like, what? What's going on?
I can't even get the fucking words out. Like, blue, just Google blue snaggletooth. Google it. The internet will explain. The internet will explain what it is. And actually, my father, he texted me earlier when I was at the show, and I called him right afterwards because, like I said, I used to collect these things and go to the shows all the time with my dad. So I mentioned to him, like, hey, remember we used to see that blue snaggletooth that was like the Sears variant? It came in like that set. It was only available for a few months, and then it was pulled because it was a mistake. He's like, yeah, it's like one of the rarest figures. He's like, what did you find? He's like, don't tell me you spent $400 on a fucking Star Wars figure. Like, I might do that, but I didn't. And he couldn't believe either that this thing was just lying around in a $5 bin. And I've never had a fluke find like this. You always hear about these people finding all sorts of crazy shit, rare video games for $1, rare toys just laying in somebody's attic. I think there were those rare baseball cards that were found lately, like in like a tobacco can in somebody's house that was in there for 75 years. So it's crazy, but it's like, this is proof right here. These finds are still fucking out there for us collectors. It's insane. So I have them right there in the case with everything else, and I never thought I would have this in my collection, and I am obviously a little excited about it. So thanks so much for watching, guys. That's everything that we've picked up recently. We're going to be at Too Many Games at the end of the month. What day is today? The 5th? We got about 20 days. Too soon for
Too many games is too soon.
Many games. We're going to be there with lots of our friends who are also on Screenwave Media. We'll be there with a lot of our internet buddies. Links below to Tiny Neenja's Twitch channel and YouTube. Please go check those out, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.